Here we are. Put my microphone on. Today's little adventure, this week's little art challenge. Before it fell off my microphone, yeah. What would you call it really? Sort of building study. Interesting building, St. Micaels Mount. It's going to be a interesting drawing as well, especially as I can't see off the detail on it. Well, we're not really fussed about it, but we're going to have a bit of fun anyway. It's just a sketch today, just going through that. Get my trusty ruler from Grandad. Just want to measure. Actually, I could use the tape measure just to show off. One tape measure. What I'm going to do is, the way I do it, I'm going to 14.5. What's that in English? 7.25. 7.25. I'm just going to find a center line. So I'm going to use my grid. I like my grid. And it's got 1, 2, 3, 4. How many? 7. 14.5 divided by 7. It's good for your brain maths, isn't it? 7 is 1, don't go. 7 is 14 is 2. 2 sevens are 14. Means 5 remainder. How many are 50? 3 are 21. 6 are 42. So we're looking at 2.8 inches. Whatever that is, which is my normal 2.5, isn't it? So, start here somewhere. Just going to do it briefly at the top. 1, 2.5. So that's 5, 7.5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.5. So I'm out a ruler. 1, 2.5. 1, 2.5. Yeah, that's about right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I wanted less than that, didn't I? Oh, do. So I'll go back. 2 inches should do it, I think. I'm going 2 inches, Dave. 2 inches. 2. Yeah. 2 sevens, 14. Duh. Oh, I'm really good at maths. 2. Just give me an extra one here. 2 and a bit. Just wanted that extra bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, brilliant. Let's just draw some square roots, square lines down. I'm thinking, what colour am I going to do the sky? Sort of a bluey colour. It's going to be blue in it somewhere. So I'll draw a few faint lines in watercolour pencil. Just use my eyes visually to get them, make it look like they're, well, try and make them visually even. The space the same. If they're not, as I've said before, we'll end up with a quirky drawing. The other way, I'm going to do 2 inches again. We want 5, which is what, 10 inches. Well, we got it perfect. start there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. Just a rough guide. And then draw some more. And this is a slightly longer ruler, which true fashion, I've actually got one. This is a light greyish colour, so it's quite faint. Just do a few squares. Paper I'm using, I don't know what it is. I think it's two rivers from Jackson's art. That right, hang on. Back a bit, stop. And a bit, stop. I think I need to put one just a little bit across the top so that we'll get, there we go. Got some nice squares. You can buy landscape sort of frames that you hold up at the view that you're looking at, linking a drawing, and that's got grid lines on it. Have interest. I'm going to use this pencil, but it's a black wing pencil. They're all right, but the devil's to rub out once it's on there. So the top of my building, my very first chimney is somewhere over here. So I'm just going to do that. What I like to do, or what I have been doing lately, is to draw the subject that goes down about half. Draw it fairly quickly on a Sunday afternoon, like I'm doing here. And then perhaps tomorrow morning, or during the day tomorrow, I'll have a look at it. I'll sit down with this on the computer and blow the iPad and just have a good look at the image and just tighten it up, or because there's always, you can zoom in a bit and almost like you've got binoculars, isn't it? That one comes down about just below a half. So I'm not really drawing the subject as such. All I'm doing is looking at, well, that's interesting. I think oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. It's drawing shapes, squares, and looking for distances, like distance between that wall and there. That's almost a half. So I know I'm wrong. Where I am here, oh, maybe it's, and that needs to go up. So I'm going to move it up. That wall's about half of that square, that grid. That one comes down about there. That comes just below there. Gordon's loving this because he's an architect person. So he does this naturally. Need more spaces. So this wall here seems to go, that's in just off, that is in the center, but off center. Just beyond this piece. As I say, I don't want accuracy, dead accuracy anyway. Absolute accuracy even. That goes just below the center line, which is just below this wall here. So if I put a point there, I'm more or less. This isn't, I mean, using the key line, the guidelines, I hardly take much notice of them once you get going. But this is exactly the same way I would do it if I was doing it freehand, and you know, just looking at the subject off the pattern, just from scratch. Don't know why to put those lines in. I think it's that. I want to make it a wall, don't I? Sort of a line, but these sort of little details are the things that I say tomorrow at some point. I'll just have a little browse through. Now let's sort this roof line here. Start spat there. Elegantly points itself out. Wish I'd been doing this years ago when I was doing all those sketches and paintings of Christchurch Priory. Might actually get it to look a bit like the Priory. And this wall follows itself up, doesn't it? And this piece comes down to just about here. Definitely comes down somewhere. Let's go in there. A lot of it is down to eyesight. What you can actually pick out and see. That roof line goes right through the centre of that chimney. So I know I can add a little few lines here and there. It's a bit, I think I'm a bit high, a bit low there. Let's go down a bit. But you get the idea. And then later on we'll just sit in front of the computer and tighten it all up and see if we can see a bit more detail, or as much or as little detail as I want to put in. Actually, it's all right saying I want a load of detail, but maybe I don't. It's a parallel line going there for the other roof. What I really need, what I could really do with is some new glasses to see, so I could see. Right, cobblers to that. Let's get this other roof. It's a funny shaped building, isn't it? Got old castle. And this one goes across to somewhere along here. And the roof line for this is just parallel, but goes across to it. This is going to put the cat amongst the pigeons a little bit, drawing wise, because it's not an easy one to draw. But I think the thing is to have a little bit of freedom, a bit of fun, really. Right. Looking at my subject. The other thing about buildings is to remember they're all just squares, cubes, rectangles, squares. And come right down. See if I can find a full level. Came down there, didn't I? And it does. That goes right across. Let's have a look here. And I'll carry on that line. Let's say paint what you see. And then as you get older, your eyes go to pop. Good job to see what it is anyway. I don't know what these things are. It's all rock things. Right, this line here, about a third, it's just below that. So that line can come down. And this one goes right into the centre of there. Follow it down. And it falls off the cliff here. Oh dear. Back there. And it just comes down to here. Just about the centre of there. It's that bit. Just going to see if I can find this wall. It's a wall here. Something going on here. Yeah, it's about in the centre, isn't it? It comes down to there. It's a proper little watercolour challenge, this one. Go up there. I can't actually see what's in there, so I'm just going to have to make it up. I'm assuming it's some sort of wall thing. Different photo here. Don't know. Not a clue. So it's going to be a wall of some description. Made a decision for now. It comes up. This piece curves. Okay, got a thing there and a looks like a bit more of a wall there. A little bit of a doodah wally thing here. There'll just have to be lovely washes there. Nice one there. This one goes across this line, doesn't it? And my windows, as long as I don't get them in the wrong spot. Go up a bit there. We'll stick a window. Chisel, don't know, thinking of windows. We'll stick one now, just make a line. Tend to shade in the windows when I do them. And sketch them, otherwise they have a habit of getting painted over later on. And there's a big window thingy up here. Usually goes down the centre of the building, so it's not that far off. So I say, when we zoom in on the computer and suddenly see that the sketch that you've done is nothing like the picture. I'll put this tall chimney in now, otherwise I'll forget it. It comes level with this one, which I think is too high anyway. So at the moment, we just want to block them in a minute. It's a funny looking thing, isn't it? Oh, how cold it is out there. I've not bothered to take my gloves off today. I've got to go back out in the garden in a minute to have a little ferret around. Now then, I'm going to put another line from all going across, some sort of roofy line, and put these things in. One there, one about there, And then there's one in the middle. And one just the other side of that line. So I'm going to put it on the line because that one's wrong. That one's wrong. Got to be sort of equidistant. Good rubber. Here I go. Actually, this has got a rubber on the end, so handy pencil. As I say, these black wing pencils are really interesting, especially when you come to rub them out, because they don't rub out. They're very, very hard. So we've got this piece here that's really at an angle there. This is a nightmare. Anyway, we're going to put them in. It's more than an angle than that. Steep as, but it goes into the center line again. So I can draw a line up the center, rough line, and this piece comes level with that, and that forms another chimney, which is all at the same, more or less the same level. Goes right up. Just do a square. Chimneys are squares, aren't they? Comes down. Might have to push this up a bit. Fine. This one's right on the line, right on the money. Go down. So we just want to make sure we get some sort of outline quickly. And there's a portcullis thing. And the center of, there's one there. And there. These are to stop people falling off the chimneys. And they've got something going on there. And then there's a piece. I can always tell when I'm getting bored because I start speeding it up. I start making decisions like, yeah, right, that don't matter. It's quite amusing. This corner comes up, and they've got some of those things on here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm getting the hang of this. 1, 2. So say we're not doing architectural drawing. It's a watercolor representation. 1, 2, 3. It must have one or something on the other end. It's all going to fall off, isn't it? Try and draw what you see, I suppose, the key bit. Just need to make that shorter, don't I? That comes down to there, goes up to there. Be a shadow. And then where does this roof line start? Just below that square there. So draw. Wow, come on, draw a fine line across. This is almost in the. This is almost in the center, just a bit off, which is where I've done it there. Go up as a roof line. It comes 2/3 the way up there. So we'll just draw a fine line going across where it meets the chimneys. And pulls itself down there, doesn't it? That's a little bit more towards the. It's got a bit lobby there, this pencil. Sharper edge on it. Got another chimney, believe it or not, that goes almost just above that. So yeah, that's where I'm heading. Another little chimney. It's got some sort of thing going on here. It's like another turret, which is off center. That's 2/3. Somewhere on there. Doesn't start. Yeah, it's not far away from where I am. That goes right down to the base, doesn't it? Does now. And then, but it comes across into there. It's not quite half, is it? It's just above the half, which is where I am. Draw a line there. Maybe not. Maybe a bit further over. So I've got this shadow area in here. Yeah, that'll do. Nice little window there. Now this window is here. Once you put the windows in, the whole thing starts looking groovy. Yeah, that's right. It is much lower than that one. One. I think that's a window in there as well. So that'd be a nice hint of blue. And another one here. And I have fun trying to paint this loosely, that's for sure. That line comes right the way down through, just inside the center of our square. Keeps going. Might as well go right the way down through. And then this angle comes just across. Oh, I see. Put it in anyway. And shorten that. And goodness knows what's happening over this side. Just going to have to invent stuff. And there's like a shadow light effect there, isn't it? Anyway, I've got that one at the top, and it comes sweeping down. That one's just off the center. Let's do the other one first, because that is definable. No, too far. That there. It can go right the way down. And it gives us a sort of a perspective there. Good lad. And here I've got bases of another bit of castle. And there I want this walking bit to go out here. This should do. Let it fall off the edge of the paper. It's a toughie this is, I can tell you. It's going to be some sighing, and the line comes down from here. Actually, I said I was going to put that on, didn't I? That one. Then, because that dictates what happens to this one. Oh, yes, that looks good. Manageable. And that's got a straight line down it. And so there's that one. Well, as now, it's like the back of the castle. Hopefully the watercolour will help us out here, because we'll just have to. That piece comes out just below the windows, whatever it is, and then the sort of wall effect comes down to here. The wall's holding it all up, I suppose. And I'm going to put, that is about half this, no, just below, isn't it? Half. Another one of those lines there. That's not far off there now. Got our windows. Got our chimney there. Didn't lose the chimney. Got chimneys here that we can tighten up on the computer. Well, just might not actually. Just leave it as it is. I think this piece here might need a window. Where is it? It goes right the way. Oh, that's about right. Yeah. It's a window of type, and I've got this window is just below. How many of them? 1, 2, one either side of my little line, and then there's another window slightly longer because it's a bay window. Slightly longer either side. Lovely jubbly. And then this what we'll have to do on Tuesday is concentrate on putting in the shadows, the dark areas of the picture, and that'll bring out the rest of it. So background, gentle wash over everything. Starting to see, well, roughly getting information in my brain now. My brain's starting to see bits that weren't there a minute ago. There's a line there, because this is a brick wall, a wall that's coming down there. It's funny, isn't it? The more I've looked at it, the more I'm starting to visualise. Starting to see bits that I couldn't see a minute ago. And this piece comes, yeah, that's right, up to about, just up to about here. Like a little wall thing coming out. That's brilliant. And that goes up there, forms the face of that building. As I say, we can establish all this with our brushwork tomorrow, and that's like a square wall there. So I can draw a line going across, that comes down. Where's the corner of the flipping thing? Don't know. It's there now. And then we'll put our few bricks in. It should formulate quite nicely. Built by monks. Did a good job. Certainly confused me. Oh, big sigh there. Put a line there. Little roof lines coming down. We've got to find some windows here now. And their tops of those windows is just almost to the peak of the base of this one. So, and there's a fine line there. Yeah, that window's spot on. 1, 2, 3. First thing on Tuesday, if you remind me, because I'll forget, paint the windows in first before you do anything else, Dave. Just tell me and I'll be all right. 1, 2, 3, something like that. 4. Yes. Not too far off. What's that look like? From a distance. So I've done that wall. Now I just want to put this. It's a bit like Corfe Castle, full of sort of rocky things that we can't quite make out unless you're stood right in front of them. Should be a bit of fun. I'm just going to make them rocks. Could be. Oh, I think they look like graves. What you call them? And sort of gravy stone things. That'll do. This probably find some more information or more details here at some point. Because there's definitely, I'm looking at them in part of the building now. But the once we start painting these little shadow areas in with darker colour, it'll start turning really great. I think I'll make that go out to there and down. And don't forget we've got a lovely bit of water going across here with the headland, so that'll make it look interesting. And how far does it go? About in the middle of there, doesn't it? Got some sort of stone thing here which encroaches. I'm going to move it over. Plinth. It is about halfway, and that's fine. Not bad, really. I've done all that drawing, and it's only that that's sort of a little bit out. And these other bits will form those by, putting in some shadow, some dark lines. And they'll form the steps, which go, always hard things to do, steps. Flipping hard. I'm going to have a go. Well, put the line in anyway. The path, isn't it? Comes out and goes across like that, I think. That'll do. Just a little bit up there. And then we can put our, I'm saying this steps, so it'll just something like that. And along here, got a flipping great stone thing here. Going to put there. I'm not going for high detail in this. I'm just going a bit like the Lorna Doone one with the rocks at the front of the water on the river, where we just scraped it with a credit card to give it that lovely sort of effect. I think that could go out a bit more. What's it look like? Yeah, okay. Any more windows? Look at the darker picture, see what's coming out. Anything's sort of hitting us in the, that comes down. There's something going on here. Something on here, isn't there? As I said, we can build up the rest of it with when we start painting it. That's a shadow there. Got that one's a bit big, actually, I think. A few decisions with a brush stroke down through there. There you go. Not too bad. This area of roof should be interesting. I need an HB pencil. This is too soft and yucky. Devil's Angel. Working that out when I finish the painting. I think it's difficult to tell with the scale of that one. This might need to be reduced. Maybe not. It's quite prominent, isn't it? Let's put the line going down. Fine it down a bit. Refine it even. This goes up. This wall's going up to there. It's going up. Yeah, I think I'll call that a wrap. Something like that. Lovely blue sky, maybe. Might put raw sienna in the sky and then introduce some horizon-y blue, or maybe turn it into some sort of sunset-y type thing. And we've also got some figures. There's a figure up here that I noticed, and there's definitely a figure about here as well. That's quite interesting thought. Or perhaps put a man and a woman just walking up there would be nice. Fascinating. Don't fall off the edge, Dad. These rocks, these sort of foundations do come down, don't they? Well, it's a mountain, isn't it? It's on a rock. Oh dear. Tuesday's going to be fun. Right. Get sketching, guys. Over to you. Over and out.